Garrett G2, the new one, the 25-700. Posted a little bit about this the other day, and we just unboxed this yesterday. I'm going to go over this turbo and go over why we chose it. This is a very small turbo. It's the G25 turbine and the new G2 compressor wheel in the standard G series housing. It's a 54 millimeter inducer. The Exducer is 67 millimeters, so it's small. The turbine is why we chose it. This is a 49 millimeter Exducer and a 54 millimeter inducer. So it is the smallest turbo I've ever run. Back in the day, had a twin turbo 93 Cobra with the old Incon kit. It was a cool kit. They had iron manifolds. It was carb legal, and built a 331 for it with some metal rock heads and a custom cam. And that car, full exhaust, turbo 400, it was barely a 9-second car. We pushed only about 13 pounds through it, and it was around 800 flywheel, which is what those turbos were designed to do. The Incon twin turbo that we ran on that car was a 55 millimeter compressor and a 54 turbine. Now, what are we looking at? 20 years later, Garrett's got these little babies that are smaller, and this thing they rate at 700 horse. The compressor map shows 65, a little bit more pounds per minute on the map. The turbine map shows that it's going to light off very quickly. Now that Incon twin turbo with a 331 behind it on a small block Ford, you'd punch it and you'd wait about a second and it would just light up the tires typically. And that's pretty good. Back in they would make full boost by 3,500. Today's standards, you can get bigger turbos that do that. But we chose this because for a street truck, which is what we're going to be putting this on, for the street, you really want that responsiveness. You don't want to sit there and wait a second and then take off, right? You've already lost the race. So the goal was to get Whipple style low-end torque as quickly as we can. This was our best option by a mile, actually. This turbo will produce probably well over 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. And it will produce the airflow. It's just a matter of what RPM that's going to be at, and are we going to run into a restriction at higher RPM. The turbine housing that we chose is the smallest that they make for this because we want to get the shaft speed up. Basically, the turbine here is the power, right? And this turbine, this is the new, the Garrett G series turbine and housing is their latest, as of a few years ago, of the most efficient designs that they've made. This turbine wheel, if you're savvy, it looks different. It doesn't look restrictive. You can actually see the backing plate right between the blades when you look at this damn thing. You can't see that on the old style turbines, which means that this wheel itself is not going to be a restriction. The blades are set up in such a way that the airflow going across it accelerates as the air leaves. So it actually flows significantly more than the old turbines. And, it's how much more, I don't know. But we were playing around a few years ago with the race car on small displacement Coyotes. You got to make big power. And out here on our tracks, we just couldn't get the job done. You get a big turbo, it doesn't come in fast enough. We can't launch with RPM because of our tracks. We got to try and get boost at low RPM. Doesn't work. Got to run a 3-step then and dump valves in your transmission and all this crap. And a crap ton of CO2. And I said, nah, let me just try a different way. So we ended up with a Garrett G series and never looked back. I mean, no dump valve. We were launching 3,900 RPM for a big 88 millimeter turbo pushing the kind of power it was. we were making boost and it would just come right in. From launch to where we wanted it, it was just insane. So why go with anything else? Let's try another G series for this project truck. And being a street truck, we want all that torque. It's not a lightweight vehicle, even though it's going to be a regular cab short bed, still a 4x4. It's heavy at 4,700. If we can keep it at 4,700 pounds, that'll be a challenge, right? But that's the goal, and that's heavy. So we want all of that torque available and that instant response. This turbo was our best bet at it. Is it going to work? Yeah, sure. It'll make the power. It'll absolutely make the torque. And at RPM, if we're not using it, maybe we cross that bridge at that time. If nothing else, I've got a 51 F1 that could probably love little turbos like this on a pump gas setup. Anyways, the magic here is the turbine wheel and the housing. And what we're going to be doing with this is a little different than what everybody else does. And the reason for that is I keep seeing this. It's consistent, right? This is a new turbine wheel, new turbine housing, flows amazing, wicks up the shaft speed like a mother. And I consistently see people choosing these turbos and going basically like they would with the older turbine. They're going with a larger turbine wheel like they would normally. They're going with a larger AR, and the G series are performing decent, but there's, they're like, oh, well, the compressor sucks or this or that, and I'm like, no. I mean, are there better compressors out there? Compressor wheels? Sure. Garrett's going to come out with them. They got the GX Race now. That's a 7-on-7 blade looks like, and that's what a lot of the race stuff that we see out there runs. So that's cool. And they run the G turbine. They're trying to really whip it up. But for a street truck, I'm not sold on the 7-on-7. The 9-blade that this has, so this is a 9-blade, it will grab the air faster at lower RPM. It'll spin up, and then it will run out of steam as RPM goes up. This little turbo, though, is going to be seeing some serious RPM. It'll be 140 plus thousand RPM. So, with that being said, the way that we spec this is a smaller turbine and a smaller housing. Or maybe you want to go with a smaller turbine and a bigger AR. Or maybe you want to go with the bigger turbine and a smaller AR. The point is that everything on the exhaust side of the G series, you can go smaller and still have the power you need from this turbine and the housing to turn that compressor at the speed that you need it. And it's all about shaft speed. I mean, after all you're doing with the turbine, this is the little engine of the turbo, right? This is an engine, and it produces torque. We use our exhaust to produce torque on this wheel, and that is a debate. The bigger the diameter, the more torque you're going to have on that wheel. But anyways, aside from that, it's the torque on this wheel that creates the shaft speed. The shaft speed is what turns the compressor. Once your compressor's up to speed, you do anything you want with boost. If you got this thing up to speed at 2,000 RPM, full speed at 2,000 RPM, use it or not, and then just keep it there and use it when you want it at RPM. That's the goal. So it's a little different than what everybody else has been doing. And I figured we've spec'd out a bunch of G30s for some customers, 770 and the 900s, depending on what they're looking for. And that's a 55 millimeter turbine. Honestly, I think that's a perfect fit. Perfect. It has a ton of leverage on the shaft for a little motor, and the compressor's big enough that we can do what we want. For this, I decided to see how far Garrett had gone and how far we can go with it. So this is truly a test, I guess, and an experiment. And we don't experiment on customers' cars. So for this truck, I thought, hey, let's see if we can do a V8 EcoBoost, right? A Coyote EcoBoost style build. Let's see how good these turbos really are. How soon we can get the boost in, which the data shows this turbine lights off at 9 pounds per minute of air. 9. So that's 90 horsepower, right? Per turbo. So we're looking at 180 horsepower is when these things light off. And I mean light off. On a Coyote, that's pretty low in the RPM band. So we're going to light these off pretty quick. And they'll be at full boost. So that's the goal. How far they take it, like the turbine map shows, it can handle way more than the old G25, the old turbines of this size, basically. They definitely flow more. This housing flows more. And we know that we're going to have a problem here and here eventually. Whether it manifests at 7,000 RPM, 6,000 RPM, 9,000 RPM, you know, is it in our range of what we're using this truck for? And honestly, for a street truck, even if we short shift it, fuck, who cares, right? If it's making over 1,000 foot-pounds of torque, which it will, I'm guessing it's going to make a lot more than that. But 700 horsepower capable out of this thing, under the right circumstances, and we're trying to do that. So it is water cooled, up for debate whether we're going to use that or not. Definitely oiled. The turbine housing here is a 49 AR. I chose this housing over a bigger housing because I wanted to go as small as possible. This is a T25 inlet. It's been machined for V-band for ease of fitment. And then it's an internally wastegated setup that we weren't going to run internal wastegate. This housing kind of piqued my interest versus a standard V-band one, so I chose it. Number one, because you couldn't get the V-band in the AR I wanted. Otherwise, I probably would have gone that route. But now I get it, and I'm like, this is kind of cool. It's got this chamber in here to keep the when the wastegate's open, to try and keep the turbulence down and give it some room. But we're not going to have an internal wastegate. So now the exhaust coming out has some expansion rate of its own in this little chamber. For those that don't know, the exhaust coming out of a turbo doesn't come straight out. It doesn't just go whoop right out. Okay, it comes out like this. So giving it some room to go around here, and this little anti-reversion piece right here is pretty cool. So it'll expand a bit before you actually try to direct it into the exhaust tubing. Now, I would have loved a much larger expansion chamber. That's what I generally want, you know, something big, right? Something just monstrous. Something like an empty catalyst size. And then down here you direct it. In this case, what we're going to do to give this turbo as much potential to make its power as possible, we're going to dump the wastegate out. So once the shaft speed is up, right? Once the shaft speed is up, the wastegate's going to open. So when we get this to 120, 140,000 RPM, a lot of exhaust is going to go through the wastegate. We're not actually going to have a ton of exhaust going through the turbo. There's going to be a lot going out the wastegate, and that's kind of cool. That'll help us a bit because not everything the engine is putting out into the exhaust is coming through this little housing. It's going exterior. And then we're going to run, this is a V-band, and it's a 3-inch inner diameter, so we'll run 3-inch. After the O2, we're going to run boost actuated cutouts. So up for debate on vacuum actuated, you know, 0 boost, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not exactly sure. It's a street truck. I want it to be quiet and not draw attention. But when we need the boost, when we need this thing coming in, I don't want to restrict it. So we will be doing that to give this turbo every last bit of chance that it has to make the potential that on paper it says it can do it. And in little little 4-bangers, it's doing pretty good on some, not on others, and I honestly think that's due to this, their choice that they use on this. Anyways, on paper, this looked like the right choice. I get it in my hands and I open it up, and I was like, holy shit, this thing is small. 49 millimeter, that's under 2 inches. What am I thinking, right? And I start crunching all the numbers, and I'm like, what the hell am I thinking? Well, here's what it is. Who else is going to do the test? And I'm not testing on customers' cars. I can absolutely guarantee you, if I got a customer looking for 1,000 only or 1,200 to the tires, this might be the right setup. to make as much power as possible on a street car. Be in compact space, it's not going to hang down or it fits anywhere you want. But we're going to test it, and we'll go ahead and keep everybody abreast of what it ends up doing. And if we have to change to a G30, we will. You know, these can go on another project. But the goal is 1200 to the tires out of that truck through the 10-speed with 2 of these. And lighting off at part throttle. I want to hear these turbos like freaking whistling at part throttle, so that when we do punch it, it's just boom, we're gone. So we'll see. There it is. And honestly, after I opened this up and I was looking at here, and you can't really see in here, okay, but the AR is a measurement of the area at the scroll exit right here. So it's the area of this tube right here, not over here. So it's much, much smaller here, divided by the R, which is the radius of the wheel. And I was like, I bet a Coyote would light off 4 of these suckers. So we'll try 2 first.